Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well. Shalom to all you brethren preaching His word in our sincerity and in truth. To the elders and bishops, the hopeful elect out there, shalom. Mr. Brother Dama Agabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and to give you warning. All right. And as you can see, this has been the hot topic of the day is the so-called Elder Kazak came back on the scene, and he's coming in a very deceitful manner. He's coming in a way that's coming against One West, that's coming against the elders and the apostles, and coming up against, the doctrine of life, which a lot of these guys, like Elder Apostle has been prophesying for the last month or so, is that you're going to have a lot of these guys coming out of the woodworks, a lot of these old school One Westers coming up and unmothballing their garments and coming out, trying to establish themselves, trying to speak things into existence, and ultimately trying to come up against the foundation that has been laid, since 2006, 2007. Those of us who woke up through the YouTube era, through Apostle Tahar, and the apostles all the way down. And this is why, those of us who are, in this truth, especially us here at Great Millstone, and, you few brothers that are coming up and listening to the elders, now is the time for you to be very sincere and very rooted in this truth. All right, because you have a lot of these guys in these last days, a lot of these false prophets are going to come out of the woodworks. And they're going to come out with these fair speeches. They're going to come out and say particular things that's going to tickle a lot of the fancies of all these guys, from these other Israelite groups, a lot of these false prophets, these guys with these weirdo doctrines, and even, particular guys in GMS that, the things that he's going to say is going to be something that they've been wanting to hear for a very long time. That the 12 tribe sign is off, that, all the Israelites are black. There's a hell, that the school was rooted in Masonic principles and the truth has been corrupted. And now they're coming to set things straight. They're coming to bring in the righteous order. And you're going to have a lot of guys who have been waiting to hear something like this so that they could deviate from the elders and the apostles and from the true doctrine, man. And this guy is a stumbling block, man, and especially for a lot of these weirdos, a lot of these guys who've been harboring certain feelings, a lot of guys who've been having gripes in their minds about, I don't believe, the grape doctrine is off, or the 12 tribe sign is off. I always felt this way. I always knew that wasn't right. And this particular guy that's coming, Elder Kazak, which is coming from the old school, which is coming from, the origins of One West, a lot of guys are going to run with what he is saying and take hold of his BS because, he's just a stumbling block. He's a false prophet, and a lot of guys are going to stumble and fall through this guy coming out of the woodworks. It's because he's going to say particular things that they've been wanting to hear for a long time to justify their way out of Great Millstone or the teachings of the elders and the apostles, and to find them to be false prophets and this, that. You're going to have these things happening. So we got to make sure that we're rooted and grounded, and we are built upon the solid foundation of the elders and the apostles, and through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Because this guy Kazak is a major stumbling block. And you're going to have a lot of these weirdo Israelite groups, a lot of these false prophets, and a lot of these guys who've been wanting to have something to speak against One West. This is exactly what they're going to want to hear to totally go left, man. But we have to stay rooted and grounded and not fall for the bullshit. Because like I said, this is a stumbling block sent directly from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And some guys are going to stumble and fall at this bullshit, man. So we got to make sure that we're rooted and grounded, and we've been assured of the things that we've been taught and what and by whom we've been taught, man. Because the whole time I was hearing this guy talk, man, I was just doing the Jay-Z lips, man. Hey, he's he's singing a totally different. He's not singing the song of the elect. He's not singing the right lyrics, and the shit that he is saying is like the record skipping. It's just off, man. In the spirit, I was listening. I was just like, oh, this dude's going way the fuck off, man. You see, but that's why we got to be rooted and grounded. And he's like a shepherd trying to call out to the sheep, but his voice we don't recognize, man. So brothers, be on point. Brothers, be in the spirit, man. And hey, Satan is turning it up in these last days, man. You're going to have a lot of weirdos. You got all these agents, these false prophets, a lot of these guys coming out of the woodworks, ultimately to come up against, the one, the true doctrine, man. A lot of these guys are sellouts. A lot of these guys are agents. We know that Esau is trying to, set up an attempt to ultimately to come against this truth and to come against the men of the Lord. You got the guy with the fucking, with all the guns and the pistols coming on the elders and the apostles' comment board talking about, good lesson, edifying lesson. But then he's coming in a spirit completely contrary, with a flag that looks like a Arab terrorist flag with guns and pulling out swords and all this bullshit. It's just a lot of agent activity, a lot of, like the Elder Michael said, a lot of weird shit going on, man. So we got to make sure that we're in the spirit and we're moving righteously and that we peep what's going on, man. So this is 1 Timothy 1:4, and it says apostasy. All right. And what you have is a lot of, apostasy going on. A lot of these guys deviating from, the truth and coming with some wayward bullshit. Guys, now this guy, so-called Elder Kazak, is coming in the spirit of Christ. And now he's saying Esau ain't the devil. Now he's saying that, Jake is the devil. So you got to be very careful and be rooted and grounded and understand what times we're living in and move, circumspectly, man. But hey, the scriptures speak expressly that these things will be happening in these last days. So we got to be, prepared and, make sure we're moving righteously in the spirit and all truth, sincerity, and ultimately rooted and grounded so that we don't be, enticed by these niggas, man. All right. So this is 1 Timothy 4:1. It says, now the spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. You see? And like I said, and what this guy is coming out and saying, the hell doctrine, the 12 tribe sign is wrong. The truth has been, the foundation of it is in Masonic, and the Kabbalah. Like I said, these are things that a lot of these false and bugged out and weirdo Israelite groups been wanting to hear for a very long time. And now they're going to use this guy, Elder Kazak, to be like, oh, see, he was before Apostle Tahar and all those men. See, so they're going to use him as, just a very reliable source, because ultimately he's saying the shit that their bugged out doctrines teach. And they're going to feel justified and they're going to feel as if the things that he's saying is ironclad when this dude ain't been nowhere. He ain't been nowhere on the radar, man. He ain't been out here laboring. He ain't been putting in no work. He ain't been out on the highways and the byways. And he left us for dead over 25, 30 years ago, man. But now he's popping on the scene. And now, he's going to set things straight. He's going to set up the order. Look, man, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the elders and the apostles, those are our teachers, man. Scriptures say our eyes shall see our teachers, man. And this dude's coming out of the woodworks talking about he's going to establish order and put things straight. Yeah, you can follow this guy if you want to, right into a damn ditch, man. All right. So it says what? Shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. You see? And that's what this is. It's a seducing spirit because, to be seduced, ultimately it's somebody speaking something that you really want to hear. Hey, because you can be seduced by an ugly woman, but if she's telling you the right shit and whispering the right something's in your ear, hey, it could you can look past her. She might be ugly, she might not be as attractive, but if she's saying the right things and it's stroking your ego and it's making you feel good and it's making you feel like everything that she's been saying, you've been thinking and that's what you've been saying. Hey, it'll seduce you, man. It'll cause you to be deceived. And that's what this guy is coming in the spirit of, man. And the word is, the Greek word is planos. It says misleading, leading into error, a corrupter, a deceiver. You see? And that's what this guy is coming with. Oh, the 12 tribe chart is wrong. It's wrong. Like I said, hey, it's a seducing spirit because this is what a lot of these guys have been wanting to hear for a very long time. You see? And they're going to run with it and they're going to find a way to justify it. And they're going to, link it to the One West doctrine and the truth as being wrong. You see, it says speaking lies and hypocrisy. Like the elder, I was listening to Apostle Ramla video. He said this guy was talking about the Kabbalah and he was breaking it down like they ain't never learned no goddamn Kabbalah in the truth. They never got books saying open this book of the Kabbalah and this, that, and the third. So this guy is coming with lies and hypocrisy. I think I heard Elder Yashawamba say, well, if they was teaching that back in the old school, then why didn't you say nothing? Why didn't you call it out? Why didn't you step up and rebuke it and call it out? But now here it is, you coming out of the woodworks, and all of a sudden what was going on back then wasn't right, and now you here to set it straight. It's just all bullshit, man. All right? It says, having their conscience seared with a hot iron. You see? So we got to be watchful, and we got to be on point. And that's why it's very important to be rooted and grounded, man. Because if you're not rooted and grounded, and you've been listening to this group and that group and this, that, and the third, hey, this seducing spirit could lead you astray. It could lead you down the path of error. So we got to be very mindful and be very careful, man. Because, hey, we're in these times to where these things are about to come in a major way, man. All right. And this is 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. You see? And this is what this is. It's a damnable heresy, man. And it just came completely out of left field. Like brother said, I ain't never seen this guy teach. All I ever heard about him was when the elders and the apostles would, go into the history. But now all of a sudden he just popped up out of nowhere. And now you got guys in the comment board talking about he been teaching down in the South and we've been learning from him for many, many years. Well, I don't believe that shit. And like one of the brothers said, obviously he knows how to get on YouTube. He knows how to set up a YouTube channel. Then why the hell hasn't he been on the YouTube teaching and preaching? You see, it's a lot of questionable BS going on. But all I know is through the spirit, it ain't right. It looks funny, it smells funny, and it ain't of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. See, and now he's coming in that spirit of Christ. Not once did I hear him mention Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So, hey man, it's the rise of false prophets, and I don't think this is going to be the last. You might have other guys from the old one west. Now that they see him, hey, that demonic spirit is going to jump on them to come out and give their 2 cents and try to lead men astray. A lot of these guys are seeing these last few prophecies come to pass, and now they're being motivated, whether it's by agent activity or they're being paid by Esau Edom, or just the spirit of Satan is hopping on them to be these false prophets that's trying to come up in these last days to deceive and mislead brothers and, trying to establish themselves. It can come on, many levels, but hey, you should know through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai whether they coming in the right spirit or not. And as the way it looks, they ain't, man. It says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. And it's exactly what this guy is coming in the spirit of. And it's not just him. As of late, you had all these weird spirit guys coming with these Gnostic, the Heavenly Father has a heavenly name and all this other bullshit. Guys coming out saying they're King David. It's a lot of weirdo spirits, a lot of weirdo activity amongst Israel happening in these last days. But, hey, these things were prophesied, and the closer we get to the end, the more and more is gonna rear its ugly head, and these things are gonna happen. You see? But we got to make sure that we're following after the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai and understand, like I said, I keep saying, being rooted and built up, man. All right. And having that solid foundation so that none of these damnable heresies, these false doctrines, these, these lies can penetrate you, It says, and through their covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. You see? So if these guys are coming in that false spirit of falsehood and they're coming to deceive and coming up some other weird way, man, hey, they got what's coming unto them. But we have to be rooted and we have to understand what the true truth is, man, and not be deceived, not be, matter of fact, let me get this, man. See, this is Colossians chapter 2, verse, let me see. Let me see where I want to start. I'll start here. This is Colossians 2:1. For I would that ye know what great conflict I have for you, and for them at Laodicea, as for many as have not seen my face in the flesh, that their hearts or their minds might be comforted, being knit together in love, and unto all riches of the full assurance of understanding, to the acknowledgement of the mystery of the Most High and of our Father and of Hamashiach, in whom are hid all the treasures of wisdom and knowledge. And we have that through the elders and the apostles, man. And you have to stand firm in that, man. All right. You got to understand, if these guys ain't coming in the right spirit, they're not coming with what you've been taught and the true understanding that we have been given through the elders and the apostles, man. Hey, you have to, keep that tight, and don't bend or fold, and don't be seduced by this bullshit, man. You see? It says, and this I say, lest any man should beguile you with enticing words. You see? So you don't want to be beguiled. You don't want to be deceived. You don't want to be led astray. You don't want to have these nobodies just come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they're going to set everything straight when the elders and the apostles have been laboring, all these years, man. They never forsook us. They kept teaching when all these other guys bowed out gracefully, went back into the world, did God knows what. And now they're coming back trying to set things straight when they ain't never, when they left us for dead many, many years ago, man. I don't trust a guy like that. All right. Hey, the elders and the apostles, have been wonderful, great spiritual fathers unto all of us. They've been here grinding and teaching, exhorting, putting us on the right path of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, disciplining us when we needed it, showing us love when we needed it, man. Constantly putting in that work and watching over our souls. But you got these Johnny come latelys who left us for dead coming out here, and all of a sudden you're going to follow these guys? You're going to trust what they have to say? Hey, well, whatever, man. It says, and this I say, lest any man should beguile you with enticing words. For though I be absent in the flesh, yet am I with you in spirit, joying and beholding your order and the steadfastness of your faith in Hamashiach. You see? As ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushai, the Lord, so walk ye in him. And through the Spirit, how do we receive? Of course, it's through the Spirit, but we received it through the teaching of the elders and the apostles, man, who have not led us astray yet, who have been, like I said, great spiritual fathers, man. But so you can't let this dude is like a deadbeat dad trying to come in, later on in your life when you're a grown man coming in trying to tell you how to raise your family and how to do all this when you've had great spiritual fathers lay the foundation and give you everything you needed up until this point to be, in the spirit, to be taught the right way, to coming up in the proper channels in order to be in this truth. And this dude coming up trying to uproot everything that, your spiritual fathers have laid down for you, man. So don't be simple and don't be deceived, man. And I'm just speaking this to all the sincere brethren. Hey, like I said, a lot of these bug out guys, a lot of these weirdos, a lot of these guys who've been waiting to just hear something that, tickles their fanny, that justifies their doubt and their unbelief and, whatever they might have thought that the elders and apostles was teaching wrong, and always thought the tribe wasn't, the 12 tribes wasn't right. Always knew that all Israel was black. Always knew that the beginnings of One West been infiltrated and they sold out. This is gonna be something that these niggas gonna use. They're gonna hear from one of these guys that's gonna justify their unbelief and their doubt. So, we don't want to be on that side of it, man. It says, as ye have therefore received Hamashiach Yahushai the Lord, so walk ye in him, rooted and built up in him, and established in the faith as you have been taught. You see? And we've been taught, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai by the elders and the apostles, man, who ain't never took a day off, who's been diligent, who's been steadfast, who's been with us through thick and thin, man. And you got this guy coming up out of the woodworks, and all of a sudden he's going to put things in order. Here it is. We're at the end of everything. All we're waiting for is the MOTB World War III and all hell to break loose. And now at the last minute, the Lord's going to send this guy to do and however much time we got left, what the elders and the apostles have been doing since 2006, 2007, 15, 16 plus years. And here at this last moment, the fuck out of here, man. But what does it say? It says, rooted and built up in him and established in the faith as ye have been taught, abounding therein with thanksgiving. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. So you got to beware. We got to be mindful of this, man. All right. you know? And like I said, you know, and he was just talking. I was just like, what the fuck? And then the shit that he was saying, the 12 tribe chart is wrong. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, this dude's off, man. This dude is off, you know? But like I said, hey, these other weirdo Israelite groups, you know, like FOPI, you see, what he's saying is part of their doctrine. So they're going to run with it and they're going to believe it because it makes them feel like their wacky tacky off doctrine is justified. See, we knew the tribes was all black. We knew that 12 tribes, something was wrong with it. Hey, have at it, man. You can be spoiled through this guy's philosophy and vain deceit and his bullshit, man. It says, for in him dwelleth all the fullness of the Godhead bodily, and ye are complete in him, which is the head of all principality and power. See? So we can't be deceived out here, man. All right. This is Ephesians chapter 4, verse 14. It says that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine. You see? And that's what this guy's coming with. So that's why it's about, you know, being rooted and grounded in this thing, you know, so that everything that he's saying, we have a defense. We have the understandings to know that if what he's saying goes against the scriptures, goes against prophecy, goes against what we've been taught and rooted up and built in, you know. So you can't be a child no more. See, being tossed to and fro and carried about with every wind of doctrine by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness whereby they lie in wait to deceive. And that's what a lot of these false prophets are doing in these last days. You see? Let me get this in the NLT. No. I'm bugging. This is Ephesians 4 and 14, the NLT, that we no longer be immature like children. We won't be tossed and blown about by every wind of new teaching. We will not be influenced when people try to trick us with lies so clever they sound like the truth. You see, like I said, what this guy is saying is going to motivate a lot of these Israelite groups who are not rooted and grounded, who's been waiting to hear something like this so that they could come up against, you know, the elders and the apostles, to come up against the 100% doctrine and justify their, you know, their unbelief or their doubt or whatever bullshit that they believe. You see? And hey, it's going to work on who the Lord has set this stumbling block up to stumble and fall over, man. But those of us who are, you know, rooted and grounded, man, hey, we're not going to fall for the bullshit, man. All right. That's why you got to have a strong defense, and you got to be, you know, deeply rooted in this thing, man. You see? It says, but speaking the truth in love may grow up in him in all things, which is the head, even Hamashiach, from whom the whole body fitly joined together and compacted by that which every joint supplieth, according to the effectual working in the measure of every part, making increase of the body unto the edifying of itself in love. You see? And this guy is coming with a doctrine that'll add an extra head to the body, or extra toes, an extra arm, an extra leg, man. All right. What he's teaching is not fitly joint into the body of a great millstone, man, or the 100% truth. This dude is bringing mutations and, you know, genetically modified organisms or limbs into this truth. And you can join yourself onto what he's saying if you want to. Hey, that body's going to be mutated. It's going to be warped. That shit's going to be a goddamn monster, man. You see? But we got to be wise and we got to be in the spirit, man. All right. This is Jude 1 and 3. It says, beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you that ye should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our Lord into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord power and our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach. You see? And you have this men who are creeping in unaware, man. This guy, like I said, he came from the old school. You know, he was one of the original 7. And like I said, some guys are going to hear that and be like, oh, he got to be telling the truth. He got to be this. He got to be that. Well, bullshit. All right. Let's get this word for crept in. Salaki, what the fuck? Let's get this word for crept, man. And the word is I can't say that one. well, I can't get it. Perisdeno. It says to enter secretly, slip in stealthily, to steal in. You see, lodge stealthily, to settle in alongside. You see, and that's what this guy's doing. He crept in here unaware, like a damn roach. You see, and he's coming with some ungodly doctrine. He's coming in bringing damnable heresies. Now he's talking about there's a such thing as hell. Just completely going off, man. And a lot of these guys are coming with this weirdo, very weird doctrines, man. You see? It says, ungodly man, turning our grace of our power into lasciviousness and denying the only Lord power and our Lord Yahushua HaMashiach. You see? So we can't be deceived. We can't be led astray, and we can't bug out, man. But, we're going to continue to see this, and these guys are going to continue to come in this weirdo spirit. They're going to come with these off doctrines, but we have to stay rooted and grounded and be not deceived, man, because the Lord is ultimately going to expose these guys. We see right through it, and it's going to happen more and more because we're just in those times to where the rise of a lot of these false prophets are going to continue to come and deceive many, but they're not going to get their hands on the elect. They're not going to deceive the elect. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. So I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Lord willing, you were edified. Until the next one, shalom.